Hello, my name is Nicodemus. It's good to be here with you this evening. You see, back in my heyday, back when I actually cared if I was respected, I was a member of this group called the Sanhedrin. What does this mean, you ask? Well, it essentially means I sat in court every day with many other big-wig Jews who kept the religious law. We had the power to punish or even execute those who broke it. To literally take the life of someone breaking religious law. We had that power. Life was easy. Life was convenient. I was respected. I was honored. And above all, I was feared by those who knew the power I possessed. Everything was business as usual until he showed up. Jesus! This guy came out of nowhere! Like we've always said, nothing good comes out of Nazareth. But Jesus, we knew immediately. Whenever we wanted to admit it or not, we knew this guy was the real thing. We knew he was the Messiah sent from God. And I, for one, was captivated. And I just had to know more about him. Even if it cost me everything. So one night, I snuck out to see him. Of course, I didn't do it during the day, but at night, when no one else would see me. I met Jesus and told him that I knew he was from God. It was obvious, you know? I mean, the miracles, the teachings, it all added up. I figured he'd be pretty impressed, you know, with all my personal credentials, and maybe he'd even offer me some advice or something on how to get promoted or become more holy, you know? That sort of thing. But he didn't say thank you or offer his autograph, or even really seem interested in acknowledging what I just said. All he says is if I really want to know the kingdom of God, I must be born again. Okay, great. What the heck does that even mean? So I ask him, what the heck does that even mean? And he goes on to explain that a person, to be born again, must be born in water and the Spirit. Still, I was confused. But I wanted to understand, so I asked him again to explain what he meant. And he told me that God sent his only Son to earth, not to condemn or punish it, but to save it. He said that those who believe in his Son and are willing to come to the light and admit that they are done in the presence of God will be saved by God. After that, I left, and I didn't talk to Jesus again after that, but I kept thinking about what he said. I thought about what he meant and how ashamed I was that I didn't even have the guts to see him in the daylight. Months passed, tempers heated. Sanhedrin was ready to take Jesus down for good. They spoke of arresting him and getting rid of him. They said he was a curse upon the temple. Finally, I had to say something. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I stood up and merely suggested that we talk to Jesus personally and ask what he had been doing and see if it warrants for an arrest. That didn't go over well. They ridiculed me, asked if I was a Galilean, which of course I would never be. So I shut up. And finally, the inevitable came. He was arrested. He was whipped. He was tried. He was found guilty. He was crucified. I had never felt so powerless, so dishonorable, so afraid. I knew what I knew, but I didn't try to stop them. Still, I had to do something. So after he had died, this other guy named Joseph and I took him off the cross, wrapped him in sheets soaked in aloe that I had brought, and we went to lay him in it. So my story ends here. Certainly my final actions were not enough to save Jesus. My final actions were witnessed by others. I knew what was at stake for what I was doing. But I didn't care anymore. I had to admit who I was and what I truly believed. I had to get out of the darkness, even if it was going to cost me everything. Because I had faith in what was going to be gained, what was to be found in the light. My name is Nicodemus, and this is my close encounter with Jesus.